For all my FlossTube subscribers, just so you know, this is not a Stitchy video. This is going to be a whole nother ball game. This is going to be a segment I am going to title Don't Make Me Adult Today. And all of you people who are sitting there going, yay, we don't have to adult today. Wrong. Sorry, it's just wrong. So, adulting never stops, and unfortunately, I remember being that young child not so long ago who's like, I can't wait to be an adult. I get to make adult decisions and have this magic piece of plastic that buys me all sorts of things. Wrong. I remember waking up on my 18th birthday, the day after my 18th birthday, really, and thinking all of the wisdom of the world had now been gained. I was an intelligent adult. Wrong. Life very quickly taught me that I was not as smart as I thought I was. Clearly. At 21, once again, I thought I knew it all. I was now able to drink, I could own a car, I could gamble, I could do anything that was dubbed legal by the United States. You know, minus drugs. And once again, I was wrong, y'all. It'll be a common theme throughout this video about how often I find myself wrong. At 25, I remember, it was 24 or 25, I remember apologizing to my dad. Said, I'm sorry for thinking that I knew it all when I was young. You were right. I didn't know anything. I am sorry for wanting to have grown up so fast. Can I move back in? Not really. I didn't ask him if I could move back in, but I did apologize for ignoring all of his words of wisdom when I was much younger. So for all my youngins out there who are watching this, I don't know how you wound up on this, but if you're watching this, I'm 30, about to be 31. I'm not far out of my 20s, y'all. I know at 21 and 20, you're like, oh my God, he's so old. I'm really not that old. And there's a lot that I am still learning. I'm in a huge transitional point in my life. I currently don't have a job. I live with a family member. Some of this is intentional, some of this is not intentional. I'm applying for nursing school, and I needed to make sure that my bills were as minimal as possible and flexible. I didn't need an apartment banging on my door saying, hey, you're 15 days late on your rent. That's going to be an extra $50 while I'm trying to study for an exam for nursing school. So I feel like I've done some smart things. The job thing, that's another story. It's been very difficult finding a job. I'm trying to find a job in the medical field, and I have an unofficial offer. I'm waiting on the official offer, but in order for that to happen, there are some other things I've had to take care of, one of which is a test that is scheduled for August 21st. So I'm super excited about that. It is a recertification for a certified nurse's assistant certification. I've taken the test and passed it once. However, when I decided to go back to school, I quit working as a CNA, and if you don't work at least 24 hours in a year as a certified nurse's assistant, your certification expires. Or you can keep up with CPUs. I didn't do either one of those, so I'm having to retest. If you are a CNA in the state of Texas and your certification has expired, I got good news for you. You fill out some paperwork, run a background check, fax it over to them, and they clear you for an examination. You don't have to retake the course, which is what I was told when I was taking the course. If you let this expire, you're going to have to retake the course. Didn't have to retake the course. So that exam is coming up once I pass it, because I've already passed it once. I know I can pass it again. Even though I'm a little out of practice, I am reviewing. I will send my paperwork and then hopefully get an official job offer fairly quickly, and then get some money flowing through my life, because right now a lot of money seems to be going out, but no money seems to be coming in. This is a problem, and it's difficult. And So I'm going to go over some financial things. In my opinion, credit cards are stupid. I know Discover, Visa, and MasterCard and all of these other cards are like screaming at me, why are you saying this? Why are you saying this? This is not stupid. It builds up your credit, which enables you to buy a house and buy cars and all that stuff, which right now I can't do. I've had help from family members who have great credit in order to accomplish some of my things that I've needed to. My credit isn't awful, it's just kind of non-existent, really. And what that means is I can't get a loan for a house or an auto loan. But it also means that I'm not in a shit ton of debt. Oh, by the way, I will probably wind up cussing some more on this. If that's going to bother you, go ahead and turn it off. So, I have never owned a credit card. Ever. I'm 30 years old, never had a credit card. I didn't get one and then rack up charges and then pay it off and then throw it away. No, I've never had a credit card, and people are astounded by this. However, I'm happy I didn't have a credit card because there are some circumstances that y'all aren't aware of that can lead to bad spending habits. And everybody sitting there is going, well, spending habit is something that you can control. There are some things in my life you don't get to be privy to. Just know that it leads to bad spending habits. So, I've, once again, never owned a credit card. And I have some family members who have some credit cards, and we talk about them on occasion. And here's my problem with them. You are going to borrow money because you don't have any, and then pay interest on said money that you didn't have. So that one day a bank will go, we will loan you a large sum of money that you don't have. So that you can pay interest on the money you don't have. That's a problem for me. First off, I don't have the money to begin with, which is why, in theory, I would be using the credit card. But then, when I finally do get money, you want me to pay you more money for the money I borrowed. So I'm out more money. Like, it's a losing game, and people are like, well, the credit you gain and the amount you'll be able to borrow increases over a period of time. So that interest rate really does have a purpose. Really? Does it? I can put money slowly into a savings account and have that money gain interest for sitting there. There are a whole bunch of things that you can do if you really want to. Like, there's a high interest savings account, there are IRAs, Roth IRAs, all that fun stuff. If you want somebody to talk to about the intricacies of financial saving and making your money work for you, I have a minimal amount of knowledge. I'm talking like basics. This is my logical breakdown, my logical analysis of life. This is not going to be in depth. If any of the things that I mentioned, high interest savings account, Roth IRA, 401k, like any of that stuff, I'm sure there will be plenty of YouTube videos. Just type that stuff in the search engine. If you're not interested in finding a video that's not mine because you just think I'm that attractive, feel free to Google it. There is lots of literature out there that will break it down for you better than I will. At some point later on, I might do some more research and come to y'all with statistics and all of this fun stuff. Right now, this is just basic. So, I don't believe in credit cards. I do believe in savings. My philosophy has it been, if I don't have the money, I'm not going to spend it, which is surprising to some people. I didn't think that this was really a surprising concept. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. What I mean by that is I've lived in houses. So on my nursing journey, on my journey to nursing school, which right now I'm in the process of applying for, haven't been accepted yet, but I know I'll get there. I have had to move multiple times, and every time I have moved, it has been to make my living expenses cheaper. It means that I have lived in semi-shady apartments, houses that didn't have central AC, and I live in Houston, Texas. Um, that there was one point where I was cooking on a hot plate in a toaster oven because I didn't have a stove or an oven. I have lived in places where I can clearly see through the wall. Not the window. To the window, to the wall. I'm not going to finish that song. Clearly could see daylight through parts in my wall. And so that's drywall and outer wall. So there are holes clearly, and it was rotting, and I've been afraid that when I was closing my window, the window was going to fall out. But all of this I did to get from point A to point B and to do it as efficiently as possible. Some of the things I have learned. Fresh fruits and vegetables can be semi-expensive. They're really expensive if you let them rot and don't eat them because you don't get any of the value. However, if you eat that stuff, your health bills go down dramatically. It's kind of an interesting theory. Water is cheaper than anything you will ever encounter. No joke, like, sodas may be on sale for 25 cents. Your water is still cheaper. Just saying. And if you don't like water, I would recommend tea. I am a naturalist. I'm one of those people who believes that processed sugar is bad for you, because it is. If you really want some documentaries on that, Amazon Prime has lots of documentaries on the detriment to your health and high sugar diets. So I'd recommend going and watching some of those. Once again, they're more intelligent than I am. They have more information that they've compiled together in a nice package that is easy for you to watch and has very good narrative. I've watched lots of documentaries. I love documentaries. Documentaries are amazing. I believe that education is important, and you don't necessarily have to pay for it all. So if you don't like water, find a tea you like. They have mango tea, strawberry tea, like, they got every flavor you can imagine. And I know some people who are like, I don't drink anything but Coke. I am going to laugh when the teeth rot out of your head, literally. That stuff is so bad for you. If you don't believe me, fill a glass with Coke and then put an egg in it and leave it there for 12 hours. And all of y'all are going to be like, well, Coke doesn't stay in my mouth for 12 hours. You're right, it does not. However, the amount of Coke that you drink over the years will equate to that 12-hour egg sit. Just saying. It's awful for you. Diet Coke ain't much better for all you Diet Coke drinkers. The artificial sweetener in there is not good for you. It is not. I don't care what anybody says. It may not cause cancer, but it's not good for you. So, vegetables are a little bit more pricey. A lot more pricey if you don't eat them. That is something I have discovered. There is a problem. They go bad. It's not like stuff in a box, which I had to learn, that can sit on a shelf and be good forever. It may be a little stale, but add some milk. It'll be fine. It goes bad. It has a shelf life. Some things are supposed to go in the refrigerator. Some things are not supposed to go in the refrigerator. However, I found that it's cheaper to buy that way over an extended period of time. Now, if you're seriously broke, I get your ramen noodle diet. It's almost impossible to beat 99 cents. However, add some vegetables to that. Add some spinach. People are going, ew, spinach. Add some carrots. Add something. Start with some broccoli. Like, throw an egg in there. Add something to it to make it a little bit more nutritious for yourself. I get that it's 99 cents, and that's kind of a hard deal to beat, but there's so much MSG and stuff in there that is not good for you. You really shouldn't eat it. So, smoking. That is an expensive habit. Everybody out there is going, duh. No, like it's a real expensive habit. There is a point in my life where I chose not to smoke because I'd rather eat. When you're in the grocery store and you're down to like your last $8 and you're like, do I really want to buy this food and eat tonight, or do I just want to smoke a cigarette? There is a problem. I enjoy smoking. I have recently quit again, but I enjoy smoking. I enjoy everything but the way my clothes smell after I smoke. I enjoy active smoke. So the smoke as it's burning from the cigarette, that smell is really attractive to me. Pipe tobacco is delicious, and cigar tobacco, I just, please. I don't like the stale cigarette smoke that comes from sitting in it for a little bit. I don't like that. People are like, body spray. No, because then you smell like an ashtray with cologne. It really doesn't solve the problem, though people think it does. I enjoy the nicotine high that I get from smoking a cigarette. It's just super relaxing. And then the other thing that I really enjoy is the ability to go outside and have people leave me alone for 10 minutes without having to feel guilty. And what I mean by that is if one of your coworkers were to go outside and just sit there for 10 minutes and do absolutely nothing, you're going to get furious because they're being lazy. However, if that same employee goes outside and sits outside for 10 minutes with a cigarette, you're like, oh, they're trying not to commit murder. We get it. You're relieving some stress. So I know people who start smoking just so that they can go outside for 10 minutes and be left alone. I know some people who don't light cigarettes, but they carry a cigarette with them. That way, if somebody looks down, they see the cigarette and they're like, oh, they're smoking. And for some odd reason, that makes it acceptable. Why can't it be just as acceptable to go and sit outside for 10 minutes? That's healthier. It doesn't affect the environment. It doesn't affect my lungs. Like, I just want to go outside and sit there for 10 minutes. But I would be considered lazy if I did that. So, cigarettes. They're expensive. Going out to eat. Now, this is the epitome of saving money. If you really want to save money, I don't care if you order off the dollar menu every time you go to McDonald's. Stop eating out. Just stop. Don't do it. Don't. But it's, no, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. For that same $2.50, you could go to Kroger or Walmart. I hate Walmart, so I don't shop at Walmart. I'm sorry, Walmart. I absolutely despise you. Your business practices are a little iffy, and no. Go to Kroger, get a Kroger card. It's free. And you can go in, and they have sales on chicken nuggets all the time. And you can get a big bag of chicken nuggets for the same price that you get the McDonald's chicken nuggets off the value menu. Not joking. An entire bag. That's like double to triple the amount of chicken nuggets that you could get from McDonald's for the same price. Everybody's like, well, you told us to do fresh fruits and vegetables. You're right, I did. And I think that you should add those chicken nuggets to a salad. But if you're going to eat chicken nuggets and that's what you want, then that's fine. People are talking about burgers. Well, what about burgers? There are pre-formed patties, and they go on sale regularly at Kroger. I got a freezer full of veggie burgers, which are more expensive than regular burgers, by the way. Everybody's, I'm sure, talking about the articles that came out recently about what's in your veggie burger. Whatever, I can read the ingredients, I know what they are. Veggie burgers that were originally like $5 a box, and that's $5 for like 2, 3, or 4 patties depending on the brand, for like $2.95 because they were on sale. I check the sale aisle, y'all, every time I go to the grocery store. Well, and I don't even like going to the grocery store that much, so my aunt does it for me. But when I do go, I know exactly where I'm gonna go to look for my cheap stuff. Once you go in the grocery store and you get out of the center aisles of that grocery store, where the cereal is, where the pasta is, where all of that stuff is, and I'm saying pasta is okay. Once you get out of the middle of that store, and explore the outer regions of the store, places that you have never been, you will find that there are times that you can buy pineapples for 50 cents. I don't know about you, but I love pineapple. Pineapple is like the best fruit in the world. It's great grilled, it's great raw, it's just phenomenal. But when pineapple first comes into season, it's like $5 a pineapple. And then it goes down to like $3 a pineapple. And then they start like shaving off 50 cents. But eventually the pineapple gets to the point where it's about to go bad and the store still wants to make some money on that. So they sell it for like, I'm not joking, I have bought pineapple for 50 cents. Normally I get pineapple around 89 cents. I don't like paying more than $1.50 for a pineapple. No matter how much I like the pineapple. I don't like paying that for pineapple. So I wait for fruits and vegetables to go on sale. And if you visit your grocery store once a week, you kind of learn what their cycles are. I would actually suggest you go to the grocery store regularly throughout a week to try and figure out what their rotation is, because they get fresh orders of stuff and they have to move the old stuff before they put the fresh stuff out. So they throw stuff on sale. Same goes for the freezer aisle. All that stuff does have a shelf life and they have to rotate it. They got new stuff coming in, they need to get the old stuff out. So you can figure out when their shipments are coming in and buy everything on sale. I discovered this while I was on a 21-day juice cleanse where I lost 30 pounds, and I was literally going to the grocery store every 2 to 3 days to buy the fresh fruits and vegetables that I needed in order to make these green smoothies, which were super great. I felt amazing. I highly recommend it. I believe that you need to do research before you do it. Don't just say, hey, Texas Bob 88 said I need to do a juice cleanse. Yes, a juice cleanse can be healthy for you if you do it right. You need to check calorie content. Like, I weighed my fruits and vegetables. I knew how many calories were in every smoothie, and my blender was like the big one, and it was full, and I drank 2 of those a day. 2 full blenders a day in order to try and get my caloric intake. I also wasn't running on a regular basis or exercising on a regular basis. I was doing light yoga in the morning as a way to stretch and get my blood flowing for the day. However, when I was on a juice cleanse, I'm not a morning person. I would wake up, kid you not, at 5 o'clock in the morning. Wide awake, not able to go back to sleep. And my roommate at the time probably hated me for it, because I'd get up, I'd do yoga, and then I'd take a shower, and by about 6:30 or 7, I was turning on the blender. And he was a night person, so he liked being up all night. So I'm sure the blender bugged the holy crap out of him. I don't necessarily feel bad about it, but I'm sure he hated me for it. I did that for 21 days. After that, I noticed that I was losing, on average, 10 pounds a week, which sounds great. However, I was worried that it was going to cause muscle problems. When your body goes into a caloric deficit, it likes to grab nutrients from muscle, because muscle is more energy rich. So I was worried about that. Some people were like, you shouldn't have been worried about that. You were fine. I was worried about it, so I stopped. And I didn't start eating meat right away, because at this point I am a raw vegan, so I continued the raw vegan path. This is how I found out about the sales. And sales happen all over. And I shop at Kroger. I do, so I'm going to talk about Kroger. I don't know about other places, but I will let you know the fresh fruits and vegetable aisle of every grocery store works the same. They have to rotate out the old before they can put the new out, so they're going to mark that stuff down. Plain and simple. Goes for the frozen food too. Anything in the center of the store has longer shelf lives. They will order more and they get new products in, so they got to get the old products out, so regularly you can find that stuff on sale too. So, and people are like, whoa, McDonald's is still cheaper in the short term. You're right. In the short term, it may seem cheaper. However, long term, I'm telling you, you get more for your money when you go to the grocery store. Suck it up. Go to the grocery store. I don't like going to the grocery store. However, when I do go to the grocery store, I put in headphones so I don't have to deal with people, because I believe that most people are special. So I go to the grocery store, I put in headphones so I don't have to talk to anybody. I will check myself out at the self-checkout once again so I don't have to talk to anybody. And I find that the grocery store is a little bit more tolerable that way for me. There have been times where I've danced in the aisles. There are times I forget that I'm in a store and I start singing. And people just look at me like I'm retarded. And I've caught a couple of those looks, but honestly, at that particular point, because I'm so into what's going on in my head and in my headphones, that I really just don't care. You can look at me crazy and it's gonna be fine. So another thing I believe you should do is try and put a little bit of money into savings every chance you get. If you're a server, set aside a little bit of the cash that you get every night into a savings account. If you get paid weekly, 5%. If you get paid bi-weekly, do 10%. If you get paid once a month, I'm not going to say do 50%. Still do that 10%. Try and throw something into savings and have it leave your check before you ever see it. I had a boss who talked about that. Smartest thing he ever said is, if you didn't know it was there to begin with, you're not going to miss it. I believe that. If you go and check your bank account on payday and you see a number, you're going to budget for that number. If some was automatically put somewhere where you don't see it, you're still going to budget for that number. However, you got a little bit of money right in this account over here that is going to slowly start building. And it's important. Newsflash for the youngins out there: Social Security ain't gonna exist by the time it's time for us to retire. I'm sorry. The baby boomers right now are all getting to retirement age, and they take in all of that Social Security money. The government will find something. I do believe that there will be some sort of solution, but you need to realize the solution isn't going to be the Social Security that everybody is looking for right now. So you need to be proactive in saving for your retirement. IRA, Roth IRA. And I have a Roth IRA personally. It's invested in what I want it to be invested into. Right now, the stock market is just all over the place, which makes things a little nervous. If you don't like watching it, I suggest that you go ahead, start saving up money. Once you get to about the $1,000 mark, Charles Schwab is who I use. They're absolutely amazing, and they're not paying me to do this video. So go to a place like Charles Schwab, talk to a financial advisor, tell them, I have $1,000, this is what I want to start off with. They will ask you some questions to get a better idea of how you want to invest, and they will invest the money. The great thing about investments is when they go up, because the stock market's going up, your money makes a lot of money in a short period of time. However, there's a reverse to that. Right now, the stock markets aren't doing so good, and it happened shortly after I bought stock, no joke. And I just saw a drop almost instantly, and it was like, oh, that hurt so bad, y'all. Oh, it really did. But my money is coming back up. These are long-term investments, so over an extended period of time, I am expecting growth. So I'm not going to talk about what I have money invested in, y'all, because I did my research. I invested. I'm suggesting you do your research. Watch the stock market. See how it moves. Check long-term trends for certain companies. See if they're in an upswing or a downswing. There are certain things that you can do. You can also talk to a financial advisor who manages your money for you so that you don't ever have to think about it, but your money's still growing. Once I have a job, I plan on splitting my paycheck up almost immediately. 10% is going to go into my Roth IRA because I believe that 10% needs to go in that Roth IRA for 2 bank accounts, a checking and a savings. So that's 6 accounts. And the money will be divided into those 6 accounts. And some of it will be for bills, some of it will be for going out, some of it, and the budgeting works for me. This form of budgeting works for me. Each one has a savings account. Each savings account is going to be for something different. And that is important. However, the most important thing is setting up for your retirement. This is coming from a 30-year-old to a 20-year-old. Please start saving for your retirement. Social Security, I cannot stress this enough, will be out. you will not be getting very much money from it, if you get money from it at all. Sorry, the baby boomers, they're robbing us, guys. Not really, but that is something that you need to be aware of. And if I help one person start setting up a retirement in their 20s, I have done my job. Just one person. That's all it takes. Are you that one person? Could you be that one person that this really helps? So please, by all means, start saving up for retirement and get ready for that. Get ready for investing and all of that stuff. It's important. So, let's see. Any other savings things that I can... Don't rent a car. Don't fleece a car, please. That's... At the end of it, you don't own anything. You are like, but the repairs and all of this. You realize they technically put a limit on how far you can drive. That means if I want to take a road trip and I'm fleecing a vehicle and I'm, want to drive to California, I'm not going to be able to do it because then I'll go over my mileage and then they charge you for that, and don't do it. Health insurance is important. Credit cards, bad. So, life lessons number 1 from Texas Bob 88 on finances. I believe all of this is basic knowledge. I really do feel that there are some people who are going to be screaming at me about the whole credit and stuff. Honestly, if you start putting money in savings and let that money grow in your 20s, when it is time to buy a house, you're going to have the money for it. And in my mind, buying a house should happen in like your 30s. I from my experience, you're a little too immature in your 20s to do much of anything. There are some exceptions to this rule. However, when I was in my 20s, I wanted to party every night. I didn't want to have to care about all of the taxes that come with owning a house, even though I talked about buying one multiple times. I wanted to live in my 20s, and I did that successfully. I was drunk on a regular basis. I remember I was a server, so there were times where I would go and blow all the money that I had saved up for rent, and over the next 2 days just work back-to-back doubles to make the money that I needed for rent. So, serving is great money. It's great fast money. I'd stand behind that. If you're broke and you need a job, go and be a server. It's good money. But that stuff, that living that way wouldn't be conducive to owning a house and repairs for the house and all of that fun stuff. It's just not. So, and my belief is buying a house is something you do in your 30s or 40s. And I plan on owning a piece of property, not necessarily a house with a yard, but real estate. Real estate can go up too, y'all. By the time I'm 35, it's gonna take me some time, but that's the goal. That's the plan, y'all. So we'll see how well it goes. I believe that there is some wisdom in what I'm saying. I'm probably gonna get some hate mail on this video. It's probably true, and I'm okay with that, y'all. If you are really, really hateful, I'm just gonna tell you I will block you. I will. Don't make me do it. And you're probably saying, well, I can create another account and still be hateful, and I can still block you. If I have to block 300 people, I have to block 300 people. I am not worried about it. It's not my way, y'all. So, this is basic life. I plan on doing some more of these videos to all of my FlossTube people. It's not labeled FlossTube for a reason. If you made it to the end of this, I hope I was able to impart some wisdom to you. If you think I'm full of crap, then don't let me know, because I really don't care. At the end of the day, the only thing that really matters to me is my opinion of myself and my ability to go throughout my day, and your opinion really isn't going to affect that. If at the end of the day I feel like this video may have helped somebody, then at the end of the day I feel like this video may have helped somebody. If you're a financial planner and you're like, this guy is like great free advertisement, throw your name in the box down below. Let us know what company you work for. That way, maybe one of my followers will hit you up. I am doing my financial planning on my own. I do have money invested. I am working on that. I'm not looking for advice. I'm looking to make my own mistakes. That's how I've made it this far in life, is making all of my own mistakes and getting messy. And I believe that is the best way to learn, y'all. Your parents probably are going to hate me for saying this if you're younger. Listen to their advice. Take what you can and leave the rest. If at the end of the day you want to make your stupid mistakes, you're going to make your stupid mistakes, and no amount of what anybody else says is going to change that. However, when you do make those mistakes and you do learn that what that person was saying was true, and you have to call them to come bail you out of whatever trouble you're in, apologize. Be the bigger person and say, I'm really sorry I didn't listen to your advice. I really should have listened to your advice. I've learned my lesson now. And grow from that. Apologize and grow. Be humble, y'all. Show kindness to everybody. Even when you're hurt, even when you're angry, try and show some love. Try and show some kindness. We don't need more hate in this world. There's too much. There really is too much hate. God bless y'all. Peace out. Don't do stupid stuff.